Good afternoon. I am Colonel Billy Wilson, the commander of basic military training. I'm glad we had this opportunity to have a discussion. So, why are you here? I will tell you that you are here to train both your body and your mind.
Be better every day. Be better.
You are here to train your body and your mind. Not one or the other, both. I often ask new recruits, why the Air Force? And I often get, well, I want to be part of an institution. I want to be part of something that is larger than myself.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
There will be stress. It will be stressful. And I will tell you that it is stressful by design. So the question remains, when you start feeling stressed out, what are you going to do? Are you going to react or are you going to respond? I expect you to respond to the demands that are being placed upon you, pushing you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to grow, because that's why you're here. You're here to be transformed from what you were to what you need to be, to what your nation needs you to be. Each and every one of you will earn your place here. This will not be given to you. And as you earn your place here and head toward graduation day, having earned it, you will have a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. And it will be meaningful to you. And as you depart this place, you will be proud of what you've accomplished.
At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Volkovinsky.
Please join me for the invocation if you would. Almighty God, on this momentous day when these men and women finally reach their goal of graduating from BMT, we first thank you for all the support that has helped them achieve this moment. From the MTIs that have led and mentored them to all the support staff working behind the scenes, and the loved ones cheering them on from a distance. As these airmen prepare to transition to the next stage of their careers, instill in them a character of service before self, integrity, and excellence, so they may live out the lessons they've learned here at BMT. May you bless and keep them as you turn your face towards them, being gracious unto them and giving them peace. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning, and welcome to today's Department of the Air Force Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander, Department of the Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Billy Wilson, Jr. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Department of the Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson. The Reviewing Official, the Commander, 97th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Jeff Marshall. The Command Chief, 97th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Justin Brundage. Also in attendance with us today, the Command Surgeon, Air Education Training Command, Colonel Christopher Grusendorf, accompanied by his wife, Lisa. The Medical Enlisted Force Chief, Air Education Training Command, Chief Master Sergeant Paul Ellis. The Individual Mobilization Augmentee to the 37th Training Wing Commander, Colonel Jennifer Anderson. The Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Carlos Damian. The Senior Enlisted Leader to the United States National Military Representative to the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, Chief Master Sergeant Andrew Bodine, accompanied by his wife, Shannon. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Kayla Welsh. Colonel Jeff Marshall will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Now, the parade is formed. Now, all presents are accounted for.
Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. 737 Training Group, Department of the Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 322nd Training Squadron, Flight 345, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 26 March 2024 to 16 May 2024. Signed, Billy Wilson Jr., Colonel, Department of the Air Force. The Commander's Excellence Flight was led by Master Sergeant Madsen and Technical Sergeant Bailey. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. The graduates passing review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential Department of the Air Force military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest air and space force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, from the 331st Training Squadron, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Kayla Welsh, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown Clearfield, Pennsylvania. From the 321st Training Squadron, the Drum and Bugle Corps and Academic Excellence Flight, Flights 341 and 342, led by Technical Sergeant Dalton Morales, Military Training Instructor, hometown Austin, Texas. From the 322nd Training Squadron, the A Squadron staff, led by Master Sergeant Joel Pollenton, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Norfolk, Virginia. From the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 351, led by Technical Sergeant Anthony Cruz, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Queens, New York. Flight 350, led by Technical Sergeant Rafael Guzman Panigua, Military Training Instructor, hometown Orosi, California. Flight 349, led by Technical Sergeant Jamar Hart, Military Training Instructor, hometown Richmond, Virginia. Flight 348, led by Technical Sergeant Elisa Kennedy, Military Training Instructor, hometown Biloxi, Mississippi. From the 320th Training Squadron, the Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Anthony Hayes, Military Training Instructor, hometown Austin, Texas. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Commander's Excellence Flight and PT Excellence Flight, Flights 345 and 346, led by Technical Sergeant Angus Bailey, Military Training Instructor, hometown Carnation, Washington.
Head up! Hey!
From the 324th Training Squadron, the B Squadron staff, led by Master Sergeant Damaris Strong, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown McKeesport, Pennsylvania. From the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 347, led by Technical Sergeant Jacob Bergen, military training instructor, hometown, Henlintown, Iowa. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Flight 344, led by Staff Sergeant Malcolm McCord, military training instructor, hometown, Mount Holly, New Jersey. Flight 343, led by Technical Sergeant Scott Guilfoyle, military training instructor, hometown, Sacramento, California. Ladies and gentlemen, turn your eyes to the sky as the C-17 Alpha Globemaster 3, call sign Grit 58, provides a flying salute to our graduates. This C-17 Alpha is from the 97th Air Mobility Wing, 97th Operations Group, 58th Airlift Squadron, Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. This C-17 Alpha was flown by Major Jonathan Crawley, Captain Nathan Martman, and Staff Sergeant John Yesis, a 2003 BMT graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the airmen from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Technical Sergeant Matthew Zettelmoyer, military training instructor, hometown, Augusta, Georgia. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force's core value of service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Department of the Air Force Basic Military Training honor graduates distinguished themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all the families and friends who are here in support of those graduating today for your support to our mission and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Your words of encouragement has helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Marshall will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Well, good morning, BMT, and good morning, family and friends. I'm glad you're here on this great day, getting to see a flyover in front of these wonderful airmen here, 494 of those airmen. It is an honor to be your reviewing official today, and under the conditions and under this environment, I have asked my command chief, my wingman, Chief Master Sergeant Justin Brundage, to give a few words.
Thank you, Colonel Marshall. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Chief Master Sergeant Justin Brundage, and I am the Command Chief of the Mighty 97th Air Mobility Wing at Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. I can tell you it is an absolute honor to stand before you today after nearly 22 years being able to walk down this bomb run as an airman in the United States Air Force. So I thank you very much. But before I get started with this speech, can I get a loud and proud applause for how good these 494 airmen and these MTIs look? Thank you all very much for that. To Colonel Corshane, Chief Damien, the entire 37th Training Wing team, thank you so much for allowing us to spend this time with these airmen. It has been incredible. To Colonel Wilson, Chief Anderson, thank you so much. The hospitality you've shown to Team Altus has been outstanding, and we have learned and grown so much during our time here. Thank you. To the MTIs, the unsung heroes of basic military training, we owe you an incredible debt of gratitude. What you do to transform our most precious resource, America's sons and daughters, from citizens into civilians, into airmen that stand before us today, is an astounding feat. Please give our MTIs a round of applause. To the family and friends that are here and those that are watching around the world, thank you. Many of you came from very far to be here today. Some came from the great state of Texas, but whether you came from far or near, thank you for supporting these airmen. Thank you for supporting them to get here to basic military training today. Thank you for your enduring support during their 7.5 weeks of basic military training. And I say thank you in advance for the support you will show them throughout their entire careers. Please give a big round of applause to the friends and families. Now, to the 494 airmen that stand before me today, my wingmen. Your MTIs have instilled in you an incredible amount of traits. You have worked tirelessly over the last 7.5 weeks, and you have learned, grown, and developed. They've taught you many lessons. I'm going to try to reinforce 3 of those lessons that I would love for you to take with you for the rest of your career. The first is teamwork. When you showed up to Lackland Air Force Base 7.5 weeks ago, you joined the most lethal and capable team ever formed on the face of the earth. Throughout your career, whether you do 4 years or 40 years, you will continue to join teams. I ask you to remember that the Air Force is a team sport. Nothing that we do can be done alone. It truly takes a team to achieve the results that we see today. The next is opportunity. Whether you knew it or not, you faced many opportunities during your time at basic military training. Some were obvious and some were not so obvious at times. What I ask of you during your careers is when a door of opportunity opens, jump through that door. Do not hesitate at the door and do not walk through that door. Jump through the doors of opportunity, because on the other end, you will learn, grow, and develop tremendously throughout your career. The last is challenges. You faced many during basic military training, but you are here today. You overcame every single challenge that basic military training threw at you, and your MTIs have prepared you for a career in the United States Air Force. But remember, as we face a lot of unknowns, whether in our Air Force or in our world, there will be challenges constantly. As the great power competition continues to evolve, these challenges will arise, but you have been armed with the knowledge, tools, and resources to combat these challenges. In summary, the Air Force is a team sport. Remember that. Jump through the doors of opportunity when they present themselves, and take those challenges head on, because you are ready. I just have one question for you. Are you prepared to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? I think they are ready.
Please stand as Colonel Marshall will now administer the oath of enlistment. Instructors, place your flights at attention.
Now, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
According to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest Air Force.
Thank you, Colonel Marshall. Please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, guarding the freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman, wingman, leader, warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail.
Cadence 2, front up, play!
As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flags pass. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass. As a reminder, the flights are positioned as viewed from the bleachers To the left of the reviewing stand, flights 351, 350, 349, and 348. And to the right of the reviewing stand, flights 347, 344, and 343. Please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Town pass ends at 1800 hours. When dropping off members, please stay in your vehicle. Family members are not authorized to enter any training area. Please be careful while exiting the bleachers and while moving on to the grassy areas. For your safety, we also ask that you refrain from climbing the guardrails and only use the stairs to exit the bleachers. Thank you, and please enjoy your stay at the 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas.